Since you was 18?
Yeah.
So you went from being just sheltered, completely sheltered, to dancing naked?
Yeah.
How?
Because I was getting kicked out the house.
Why?
So,
Just imagine trap music over this part, copyright.
Yeah.
Is there like jealousy or insecurity, stuff like that goes on sometimes?
I wouldn't even say all that.
Your eyes said something else.
I mean, it's not
Your
even...
eyes said something else. All right, I know we got my guy here, but sometimes it's good for a little bit of relationship therapy, okay? I mean, I'm gonna ask you, was there any insecurity, or jealousy, man?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us.
She seemed to don't want to say it. Yeah, obviously, right?
Okay, so what type of stuff are we talking about? What are you gonna say to people that saying, I mean, yeah, like you said earlier, you referenced it, right? Are you trying to turn a hoe into a housewife? What's up, YouTube? The B-side is monetized. I really appreciate that. Go check it out right now if you haven't. Those videos are lit. And make sure you check me out on Instagram at Marcus the Interviewer. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. Guys, we're in Houston, Texas. And, you know, we got some folks that contacted me, wanted to tell their story. So, of course, I'm here for that. So how you doing today, miss?
I'm doing all right.
All right, all right. So how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so why just all right? Why not great?
I'm doing good. Actually, I am doing great. I'm doing good.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right, and so you're 23.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
Just the one that's currently on the way.
Okay, so you're pregnant right now.
Yep.
Okay, well, definitely congrats.
Thank you.
I know we got my guy behind. He's the dad, and
Yeah.
you guys are gonna be doing great things and everything. So, all right, so you know, we already talked to him, and we talked about how you guys went through your period of homelessness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, you guys can check out his video for that story. But let's just dive right into. So, okay, you're 23. Have you ever been married?
No.
No. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. So, where you from?
I'm originally from Miami, Florida.
You from Miami?
Yes.
305 Dade County?
Yeah.
Hey, man, shout it out, man. Shout out that big old Miami. Yes, sir. All right, and so growing up in Miami, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
Well, when I was living in Florida, I was actually living with my grandmother, and then I moved out here to Texas, and it was just me and my dad.
What age were you when you moved out to Texas?
I want to say maybe 13. Yeah, I was 13 years old when I moved out here to Texas. And like I said, it was just me and my dad. I was raised like an only child, but when I became an adult, then other siblings started like popping out the woodwork, I guess you could say.
On your mom's side or your dad's side?
Both. So I actually have a brother who's like 45 years old, and then I have a sister on my mom's side. She just turned 19, I believe. And then on my mom's side, we also have she has another son. I guess he'd be like 13 by now. So yeah.
Okay, and so you grew up with your grandma on your mom's side or your dad's side?
On my dad's side. So I've actually never met anyone on my mom's side before I became an adult, and then they were contacting me through Facebook and stuff, but the family was a bit odd, so I never really just interacted with them too much.
And so what was the explanation you got for why your mom wasn't in your life?
She was just like in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like she was dancing, just living a life of crime, I guess you could say, just totally out there.
How old was she when she had you?
I'm not sure, but let's see. She died when I was 18, and I think she was in her late 30s when she died. And my dad is like 65 now, so.
Okay, so he was a lot older than her.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so your dad took you, and you know, your grandma raised you at first. Why didn't your dad raise you during that time?
He was just traveling around and stuff, and it's never been said, but I believe he had a lot of legal issues going on during that time. So, yeah, I don't think it was like in his best interest to get me at the time.
Okay. And so, growing up with grandma, would you say that you had a fairly normal childhood up to about 13?
Yeah, it was pretty normal. They're just Jamaican church folks, pretty much. They didn't have a lot of money, but they did what they could. It was me, my grandma, and I had like a few uncles in the house. Just grew up in the church. I tried to, you know, just like talk to other people in the family, but it was mostly just me and I was sheltered for the most part.
Okay. I mean, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and ask, right? You know, did anything ever happen to you when you was younger or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so nothing like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, as far as it goes, you went to high school,
Yeah, I graduated.
Graduated. Okay. Any college after that?
No.
No. Okay. So, and you pretty much went to high school and stuff out here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, you know, like, so okay, you know, you guys have been together for how long?
Like 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're 23. So was this like your first kind of relationship, or did you have relationships before this?
I had like 2 other boyfriends before this.
So that was like in high school and stuff like that?
Yeah, one in high school, then like one after. Then I met him.
Okay, okay. And so, I mean, you know, when you guys were in the position that you was in of homelessness, I guess, you know, was there anybody in your family or in your circle that, you know, could have stepped up, helped you out or whatever?
Yes and no. And I will say this isn't just completely to their fault. My family did help out a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't in school or doing anything. I was just kind of just like living like a street life or whatever. So they had helped me get apartments and cars before, and for whatever reason it didn't, you know, just work out. So
well, let's talk about it. Why didn't it work out? Because I mean, what you're saying is that they basically, you know, they came to your rescue and you basically wasn't kind of, I guess it sounds like, working or doing anything.
Yeah, like I was losing jobs. Then I was working in the clubs and stuff.
Well,
so
why?
Why was not?
Why was you losing jobs? Why were you, you know, kind of not being,
just
you know?
different reasons. Like I said, it's of my own fault. Just basically not caring. Then, you know, like I said earlier, I was kind of lived a sheltered life. So I started venturing out into the street life. And if you know anything about that, you know, sometimes money is good. Sometimes money is, you know.
Well, what type of street life
just like
stuff we
working in
talking
the
about?
clubs and stuff.
Because, you know, there's levels to street life. So we got to be specific now.
No, I was just working in the clubs and stuff, you know.
As what?
Just dancing.
Okay,
stuff.
so like
Yeah.
exotic dancing, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Since I was like 18.
Since you was 18?
Yeah.
So you went from being just sheltered, completely sheltered, to dancing naked?
Yeah.
How?
Because I was getting kicked out the house.
Why?
So, just really stupid stuff. Like I said, I'm not even gonna put the blame on anybody, but it's just.
I mean, you was living with your dad, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna just be honest. He really wasn't. Like I said, he had other kids that he wasn't really raising. He didn't really want to raise kids. So I kind of had a plan after high school that I kind of deviated from. Then it was just like a little stuff, like I just getting kicked out the house. Like when I first started dancing, I got kicked out the house. Literally, I was like 20 minutes late on curfew. Like it was just, he just basically didn't want me there. I'll just say that.
Yeah, but you had already started dancing at that point. I'm trying to figure out how
no,
we
I'm
got
talking about when I first started, before I started dancing, like what led up to me
What
dancing.
led up to you dancing? Okay,
yeah, I was homeless, so I didn't.
Okay,
you know.
so you was 20, and so how did you introduced you to dancing? How do you go from?
No one really introduced me to dancing.
You just like
I'll
walked up
say
to the
I
club?
started bartending at a hookah lounge, and it just wasn't. I wasn't making any money with that.
Right, and I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, even how, I'm gonna come a little bit closer. Even I'm trying to figure out, right, like, how did we get to, like, in other words, you're a shy, sheltered, I ain't gonna say shy, I don't know if you're shy or not.
I wasn't shy, but
okay,
I was...
right. But, you know, you could describe sheltered.
Yeah.
Were you still sheltered through high school, or did you kind of start to turn into a little bit of a hot girl a little bit, stuff like that?
I wouldn't even say all that. I just had a bit more freedom, I guess.
Okay.
I wasn't like roaming the streets or like living fast or anything like that.
Right. Okay.
Like honestly, and I will say, it's not even like someone introduced me or there's a story to it. Like it was just, I wasn't making enough money at the hookah lounge, so I just
I'm trying to figure out how you
club.
got to the hookah lounge. Did you just walk up there and say, hey, I need a job?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Like, just trying to get to the nuts and bolts.
Instagram.
Okay, you seen it on Instagram and you...
They were hiring.
Okay. And so from the hookah lounge, I guess, now you're kind of in that mix a little bit, and so you just get over to the club. What was your first night like?
Oh, it was terrible. It was bad. I really didn't I made enough money to, like, I guess kind of survive for a little bit, but I really didn't know what I was doing. You know, I went to the club. I really went to one of the hottest clubs in Houston at the time. I had bought like
what was the name of it?
It was Truth, but they're closed down now.
Okay.
I had went and bought like some some $30 heels. It was just terrible. Like, I didn't know what it was.
Is that like that's cheap heels? I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah, I didn't look the part, so I probably made like $80 that night. You know, it's people that's been dancing for years, and I was just, you know.
Okay, but I guess
I mean, I just kept going back, but I was trying to wait for a job to hire me, so.
Okay, so that was kind of like your fallback thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it became the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what made it, or I guess I would ask, like, at what point in that journey did it become like the main thing where you was like, you know what, I'm actually, you know, gonna just do this?
I mean, I will say it was my main thing, but I always did try to have a job, you know what I'm saying? But once I started, you know, dancing more and I was making like, you know, like $400, $500 nights, you know, I just kept going.
And so how often would you make those $400 or $500 nights? Would that be like one day out of the week and then the other days would be a little bit slower?
Like 3 or 4 days out the week. Like I said, I always tried to have a job too, so you know, I'd do dance that night and working a job during the day.
Well, that's like, I mean, that sounds like a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
So how was you living at that point?
Dude, I living good at the time.
Like, were you living in an apartment, in a house where you?
Yeah, I had my own apartment, my own cars, and so I was buying cars and stuff.
Okay, and so what happened, like, to that stuff? What happened to it?
Just to stop dancing, mismanaging money and stuff.
So, and why did we stop dancing?
Because it just wasn't a lifestyle to be doing, I guess you can say.
What about
like fast money, that wasn't.
What about it, you know, turned you off or made you stop doing it?
It was just too much going on. Like, people were just doing drugs. I was working at clubs. They were getting shot up and stuff like that. It was just a lot of stuff. And then at that point, my family had found out. So, you know, like I said, it had ups and downs. So they were less willing to help when I was having like dry periods, I guess you can say, like when I really needed help. It just wasn't like a good image on the family, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, like we already discussed, I didn't like grow up from that. So it was like kind of making the family look bad. It was just a bunch of stuff. It's just like fast money, like, you know, like
so
you discussed before.
You
like,
hid it from them for, it sounds like, a year or two or so.
Yeah.
How?
Just not telling them.
Okay.
I mean, my dad's 65 years old. He doesn't have social media.
How did they find out that you do exotic dance?
My cousin told them.
What?
Yeah, my cousin told them.
Why? Well, okay. Why did your cousin tell them that?
They're just hating. She's just a hater.
So she just snitched on you.
Basically, yeah. She just been snitched out of nowhere.
Okay.
No, she called me up one day and she was basically like, she asked for help, like how she could get into dancing. But I told her straight up, like, it's not, I don't think this is the life for you. Like, you know, my cousin, it just wasn't, didn't really have the look, like the personality, like nothing. I was just like, you know, like keep your 9 to 5. And I guess she took that to offense. Then
so wait, what about it? What about her look didn't fit the aesthetic?
She was just like large, like.
Oh, she a big back.
Yeah.
She a big back. So wait, so why did she think that she would be able to do that then?
Cause you know people be gassed up, like they be like anybody can do it, like. But here's what I say. I mean, technically anybody can do it, but to make money, like, you know what I'm saying, like. I'll never like promote, like I be watching people on your channel, I'll never promote just like putting yourself out there just to like put yourself out there, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if you can't keep like, if you're not making a consistent income, it's really not worth it. Just like how I said, it wasn't really, it came to a certain point in time, it just really wasn't worth it, like.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, you know.
That is draining, you know, like I said, like, yeah, even if the money's good, like, you know, to make a good consistent income, you got to be doing it like every day, all day. That stuff's not cheap. You got to pay club fees, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So it just basically became something that, you know, it just, like you say, it just wasn't worth it for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long was the total time period that you was a dancer?
Since I was 18, and I'm 23 now. So.
And you stopped when?
Like a few months ago.
So you were still pregnant and doing it,
like a little bit. Yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant until I was like 5 months pregnant, maybe.
Okay. And is that where you guys met?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he was a customer at first.
No, he was just there, just like, selling his weed and stuff.
Okay, so he used to be there doing his thing.
Yeah, so how we met is actually funny. He used to come to the club, but we met, but we didn't talk for like 2 years. So then we went out on a first date. Then we just didn't talk again for like months after that. Then this is like our second date. Then we just hung out every single day since then.
What do you think was the difference between going out on the first date and then having that long gap and then just being all booed up after that?
We just both had stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? And then that's why
other people? Is that what you mean? Stuff going on?
I'm not sure what he had going on. I wouldn't say that. But
well, what about you?
I wasn't looking to date anyone just like exclusively at that time.
Well, I asked specifically though, did you have somebody else? Or you say, yeah, we had other stuff going on?
I wouldn't say that. No, I was just single at the time. But then it's not really dating and then dancing at the same time doesn't really mix like that well. I'll say that.
Is that right? Because you guys did it,
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say it caused problems.
Okay, so is there like jealousy or insecurity, stuff like that goes on sometimes?
I wouldn't even say all that.
Your eyes said something else.
I mean, it's not
Your
even...
eyes said something else. All right, I know we got my guy here, but sometimes it's good for a little bit of relationship therapy, okay? Your eyes said something else, okay? Now, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this now. You know this. You watch my stuff. You know I ain't gonna... Come on now. Your mouth said one thing, your eyes said something completely different.
You can't really be out and about and then trying to have a relationship and then,
Well, tell me. I mean, you tell me. Like, tell us what are some of... Because there's going to be some young girls going to, just thinking about dancing. And you tell me that...
Okay, here's what I'll say.
Further on down the line,
there may be someone that's okay with it. People that are, like, really, really okay with it, it's really, like... usually like weirdos or people trying to be a pimp and stuff. Like, I feel like if someone, I guess, really cares about you, it's just not good for the relationship when your job is having to be in, people's face all day.
So what type of issues would it cause in the relationship?
Like, I was just out and about, just drinking too much, just partying too much. That's what I'm saying. I was doing it consistently. Like, I'd be drunk and partying for like weeks at a time. Just not really caring, just saying anything.
When I asked specifically about
and stuff.
I didn't mean to cut you off, by the way. But yeah, so when I asked you about specifically, was there jealousy and insecurity? Your eyes told the tale. Okay, can we talk to that?
I mean, I would say that. I mean, it's just normal stuff. If your job is to be talkative, like if you're dating somebody and you're just
kind of
talking to men all
naked,
day, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it completely naked here in Houston?
Some clubs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the ones
clubs
you work
I was
at?
working at, yeah.
Okay, and so, I mean, I'm gonna ask you, was there any security, insecurity, or jealousy, man?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us.
She seemed to don't want to say it. Yeah, obviously, right?
Okay, so what type of stuff are we talking about?
You don't want your girl outside naked with a bunch of dudes.
Hey, I mean, preach it. Okay. And so, what are you gonna say? I'm sorry about that. What are you gonna say to people that say, well, that's where you met her at?
Yeah, you know how they say, no disrespect at all. But you know how they say, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife?
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can. But sometimes you got to deal with what. Sometimes you got to deal with the period of where they don't want to let it go. Because some of them don't want to let it go quite yet.
Okay.
Sometimes you might got to stick around a little longer, and some people don't want to do that. But
okay.
If you stick around a little longer, maybe they'll give it up. But she gave it up.
Well, I mean, I think you kind of made her. You kind of put something in her that she had no choice. So he sounded like hey man, he made the play. Okay, he made the play and he got what he wanted to have. So he got his housewife. You ain't dancing right now. So let me ask, I mean, is there any part of you that's gonna want to go back? you know, when, you know, let's say that you snap back, and you know how it is when you have that first baby, that booty get a little bigger. So, you know, if you mess around and you'll be looking back, they'll be like, hey, that thing is thangin'. Is there any part of you that's going to say, you know what, you know, use a little extra money, right?
No, not really. I'm gonna get like a regular job after this.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, if we broke up or something, then maybe. But I'm not. Probably not. In the
Well, now we're not putting that type of energy out there. Okay?
I know. I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't while in the relationship. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we're doing pretty well now. Just be chilling at home. Obviously, I've been on the job search now, but you know it's harder. People don't really want to hire you being pregnant.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, you know,
that's how he pretty much takes care of everything now. So yeah.
I get that, but I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this to both of y'all. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
lot of pressure, and you know, how long have you been doing the content creation stuff, man?
I'm gonna say, how long have I been making money from it?
Yeah, making money from it.
About the past 10 months.
10 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, even with me, right? Like, I still worked my 9 to 5 for 9 months before I left it to just rely on content. And then, even then, 3 months later, I got another job. You know, because there's, you know, anything could happen.
Right.
If something happens and they mess around and do something to your channel or whatever, you know, and so that's why the question is, well, you know, I get what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
The idea is just sit here and ride it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just because I'm pregnant, so it's harder to get a job. Like, even if I start a job now, what am I gonna do? Like, you know.
Well, you got about a 4 or so month window at this point that you probably don't even need to think about having a job, because you need to bring a healthy baby into the world, and then, you know, at least take the first maybe 90 days, first 3 months or so to really kind of bond with your child and, you know, really be the full mommy deal, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe get back into the workforce or whatever. But you're saying that there's not even 1% that would say, hey, you know, if I needed to, you know, take a little, you know, 10 for the win, you know, or whatever, you know. I don't know. Your body language is saying, you know, we'll just let your body language say whatever it's saying. Okay, okay, no worries. I mean, you tell me. I don't want to speak for you.
I think it'll be good for the relationship.
For the relationship?
Yeah.
So is that something that you would be able to handle? Like,
No.
okay, so you wouldn't be able to deal with that even if you fell on hard times?
No.
Okay, so you're like, I'm gonna make it happen. I gotta do whatever I gotta do.
No, hard times could happen. I'm not gonna say that because we all know hard times could come up. But would I be okay with the club? No. Not at all.
Most of our major
Not even a little
issues-
bit.
Okay, I can
I
dig
would
it.
say, because I'll be honest, most of our like major issues in the relationship has come from like the clubs and just like
What, like, give me details. Like, what about, like, tell me, what is it about your involvement in that brings, you know, issues? Like, just give me one example. You don't have to.
just being too like loosey goose, I guess. Well, I wouldn't even say. Well, one, I was drinking a lot, so I really wasn't caring. Like,
So you would
I was
kinda
just,
be a
like,
little drunk and be
talking
like-
to him, like, you know, just like a random nigga on the streets, basically, like just disrespecting him and stuff like that. I was just being disrespectful in general to a lot of people in my life. I feel like they're just like the heavy drinking, and that it's just like I'm saying, it's not healthy. Like, I will say that it is a draining lifestyle. Like, you know, just imagine if you were just like out partying for like a weeks at a time.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm
I can
saying?
imagine. I can imagine
Out
it gets
and
old
about,
fast.
just
Yeah,
like
just
all over
if
the
you don't
city
manage
and stuff.
it,
Then it's like, you know, you gotta promote to make money. So it's like I'm on social media, like you can see me out there, like you know what I'm saying? It's all I'm like hiding it or whatever.
Okay. So is it the specifically the club part of it, or is it the sex work part of it? Saying, and I guess the reason I'm asking is, like, if you guys say, for instance, did some type of, private Snapchat or this or that or whatever, all these things these people do online to, get paid from different levels of sex work.
Yeah.
Is it more of a sex work thing? Is it more of that whole club atmosphere partying thing?
It's the whole thing.
So both of them.
It all comes with the same thing.
Well, I mean, the online stuff, right? If the online stuff came without the drinking and the partying and being out there.
Yeah, I still wouldn't be okay with that.
Okay, so you wouldn't. Okay, I get it, man. 100%.
No Snapchat. No. I wouldn't be okay with any of that.
I get it, man. I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
Doing the Snapchat thing too.
Okay.
At one point. Yeah,
Okay.
He deleted.
He deleted it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, some people are gonna say, man, what are you gonna say to people that saying, I mean, yeah, like you said earlier, you referenced it, right? Are you trying to turn a hoe into a housewife?
If you want to call it that.
Okay.
If you wanna
Okay,
call
so
it that.
because I mean, listen, one of my favorite movies was what's Richard Gere? Beautiful Woman. Is that no Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
Pretty Woman. Y'all know that movie?
I've heard of it. I've never seen
Oh,
it.
that's a classic, man.
Maybe we'll
Listen,
watch it tonight.
I was about to say, that's your homework for the night, all right? Pretty Woman, I'm telling you, one of my favorite movies ever. So, all right, well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time answering all of our questions and kind of, giving us a peek into you guys' relationship and, some of the ways, some of the things, the ways it operates. Definitely big congratulations on the pregnancy. Yes. Are you ready for the whole pregnancy to be over?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm just tired.
I know that's right. All right, well, listen, we really appreciate y'all. Definitely wish. Oh, if anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have your socials, cash apps, anything like that?
Yes, my cash app is. Let's see if anyone wants to help out with the baby or anything.
A little bit of baby registry, baby stuff, right?
All right, my cash app is $KASHOUTTBB. So cash out BB, and then my Instagram is MISS.cashout with a K.
Okay, all right. Like I say, we really appreciate y'all. Definitely wishing them but the best, all right?
All right.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.